All right, we're gonna continue working with Arkansas Traveler. We've got a little bit more fiddly, sort of some variations in the melody that we're gonna talk about, some fiddle devices, and playing in upper positions on the cello.
Which you maybe want to do if you want it to sound like in a higher octave, which I often do when I'm playing fiddle tunes because I think that makes it sound a little bit closer to what the fiddle's playing. It's pretty easy to put the whole A part of this tune in upper position, or like this would be basically a position where your first finger is on the D on the A string. So if you normally would play in first position and you have A, B, C, D, and your fourth finger's on D on the A string, just switch that out and put your first finger on the D on the A string, and then spread your fingers out so that you have D. E would be your second finger, so make sure your middle finger goes all the way down to E, and then your fourth finger plays F sharp. And the secret to this position being not super painful is making sure that your thumb is resting on the back of the cello neck so that the thumb is in the middle of your hand. And that just makes it much easier to reach all these notes. So if you're starting out and you want to play this in that higher position, I often skip the B pickup note and just start with an A as a pickup note instead, because then you can just jump right into your D and play D, F sharp, E, D, cross over to the D string, stay in your same spot, use your fourth finger to play B, B, middle finger plays A, and then back to the A string for D. So it'd be 1, 4, 2, 1, cross the string, 4, 4, 2, 2, back to the A string, 1, and then, so the whole thing's a little higher than if you played it, which is also really pretty, but this allows you to play it at a higher octave. And then for your ending phrase, just shift back to first position. That's the easiest place to play that. So the whole A part in that higher octave would start with your first finger on the D on the A string. Then shift back to first position. And that's a way to play on cello in upper position.
Nice double stops at the end there.
Fiddle stuff.
Fiddle stuff, yeah. So yeah, fiddle stuff. Double stops are a really big one, and it's just playing two strings at once. So in the A part, the tricky part of playing double stops is if you're playing, say you're playing your D and your A strings, you don't want your fingers to, a lot of times I will aim my fingers, the center of my finger kind of goes between the strings, so I can grab two strings at once if I need to. I don't use those fifth double stops very often because they sound very odd. They work in jazz sometimes, and they're fun there. But a lot of times you're just droning your open string. So in those cases, you just have to be careful. I sort of cheat my fingers more towards the E string so that I make sure that the edges of my fingers don't hit the D string while I'm playing my notes on the A string. So a phrase like that, you could... Then you can do double stops on the A and the E. Playing notes on the D string and slurring the open A. This one actually is maybe a little harder because you have to reach across. So you kind of have to just be careful not to hit, like if your fingers are kind of flat, you'll end up hitting the A string. So you got to reach across the A string and make sure that your fingers are not hitting the open A while you're playing your notes on the D. Okay, and I mean, you don't have to do the drones through the whole thing. You can be selective about where, and if you listen for how it sounds, it's gonna sort of present like, oh, that sounds good, or oh, maybe I don't need to do drones there. You can sort of decide for yourself on those. Slides are another thing that I tend to use in my playing a lot. It gives kind of a bluesy feel, and in bluegrass especially, there's a lot of bluesy kind of licks that happen. I sort of added in a few. I'm going to play through this part that I wrote for the violin. It's just a slightly different A part with some variations. Again, there's some nice double stops there, and a little walk up. So a couple of examples of just little ornaments and double stops that you can put in. I often like to do a little triplet as the pickup notes. You want to just play through this together?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to play through and put in some variations, just to give you some ideas about stuff that you can do with the tune. go, Arkansas Traveler.